Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. Before we begin, do subscribe to the channel so that you will be notified immediately when I upload a video. In this video, we are going to solve Cambridge GCSE Mathematics Paper 4 Extended Specimen Paper for examination from 2020. Let's start. Question number 1. Let's read the question. Christian and Stephanie share some money in the ratio 3:2. Christian receives $72. Work out how much Stephanie receives. It's important to write the order correct. So Christian and Stephanie. So Christian is 3 and Stephanie 2. He receives $72 and how much does Stephanie receive? We don't know that, so we will place an X in its place. Now cross multiply. 3 multiplied by X is 3X and 72 multiplied by 2. No need to write this in the calculator now, you can leave it. This is a multiply. When you move to the other side, it will be a divide. And that will give us $48. Moving to A2, Christian spends 45% of his salary on a computer game. Calculate the price of the computer game. So out of the $72, he spends 45%. If the percentage is given to you, you divide by 100. This will give us 32.4. We'll write it as 40 because it is cents, so 32.40. A3, Christian also buys a meal for $8.4. Calculate the fraction of the $72 he has left, this is important, after buying the computer game and the meal. So how much did he spend out of the $72? 32.4 plus 8.4. This is the money that he has left. And we want to write this 31.2 over 72 in the lowest fraction. You will get 13 over 30. Next, Stephanie buys a book in a sale for 19.20. The sale price is after a reduction of 20%. Calculate the original price of the book. Whenever you are solving for a percentage change question, there is a rule you can say that we can use. The original value multiplied by the change in percentage gives a new value. Suppose you have the original value, then you multiply by the percentage change and you will get the new value. And if you have the new value, then also we can use this. So let's write down the original value or the original price of the book multiplied by the change in percentage. Now this is important. If it is a decrease in percentage, like the question we have, from 100 you minus the change, it is 20, and then you divide by 100. You will get 0.8. That is what we are going to multiply here, and this will give us 19.20. So I hope you understood what we need to do now. This, as you can see, is a multiply. When we shift to the other side, it will be a divide. And we got the answer 24. So the answer is $24. Just a quick note, if it was a percentage increase, then we use the same thing, but instead of minus, we will use a plus. This will become 1.2. Also make a notebook and always copy down all the formulas or any important notes at the back side of the book or somewhere which you can always refer to when you need to. Part B. Boris invests $550 at a rate of 2% per year simple interest. Calculate the value of the investment at the end of 10 years. For simple interest, we use this formula. I is equal to PRT over 100. P is your principal, that is your starting amount. So what is our P? $550. R is the rate of interest, 2%, and I is interest, which we have to find, and years is 10 years. So time is 10. This will give us the interest. When you use the simple interest formula, you get the interest only. So you need to read the question correctly. So the year is 10 divided by 100. This will give us 110. But they are not asking for the interest. They are asking for the value of the investment. So the total value will be the initial principal amount, which was 550, plus 110. This will give us $660. Part C. Marlene invests $550 at a rate of 1.9% per year compound interest. Calculate the value of the investment at the end of 10 years. For this, we are going to use the compound interest formula, which is A is equal to P bracket 1 plus R over 100 N, where A is your principal, P is your principal, which is 550. Rate of interest is R, 1.9, and the number of years is 10. So we need only these things now. A is the amount or your total investment at the end of the 10 years. 550, 1 plus 1.9 over 100 to the power of 10. The whole thing you can put in the calculator together and you will get 663.90. As you can see that the method is not very difficult. The question is not difficult. You just need to know your formulas. So write them down and keep learning them. Hence invest $550 at a rate of X% per year compound interest. At the end of 10 years, the value of the investment is 638.30, correct to the nearest cent. Find the value of X. We will use the same formula. Let's write down what has been given to us. We know that the principal is 550. The rate of interest is X%. The time is 10 years. And the value of the investment is $638.30. This is the amount, the final amount. Now using the formula, we are going to place everything in its proper place. 638.30 is equal to principal, which is 550, bracket 1 plus X over 100 to the power of 10. This is like, if you're good in algebra, you will know, you just have to make X the subject. For doing that, first we remove what is outside the bracket. 550, it's a multiply. When I shift it to the other side, it will be a divide. And then we are left with 1 plus X over 100 to the power of 10. Whenever you want to shift the power, we write it like, suppose if you have y is equal to x to the power of a over b. You want to make x the subject. When you write the power with y, it will become b over a. no sign change or anything. So here we have 10. It means it's 10 over 1. There's always a 1 in the denominator of any number, whether we write it or not. So this, now when we shift it to the other side, we can write it as to the power of 1 over 10. And now we have 1 plus x to the power over 100. You can put this whole thing in the calculator now or continue. I will prefer if you continue, if you can understand it. One time put everything in the calculator, that's it. Shift the 1 to the other side, it will become -1. And after this, the 100 is in the divide. Shift this to the other side, it will become a multiply. There are two brackets involved. One is outside, the 100 is there, and inside we have bracket 638.30 over 550. Close the bracket to the power of 1 over 10, and then there's a -1. This whole bracket is there, and there's 100 outside. This is equal to x. This will give us 1.50. You can write x is equal to 1.5. I hope you have understood this. Question number 2a. 200 students estimate the volume V cubic meter of a classroom. The cumulative frequency diagram shows their results. This is the number of students and this is the volume in cubic centimeter. We have to use the graph to find an estimate of the median. Median is the mid value of the frequency. So we have total 200 students. To find the median, divide the 200 by 2. Median is half of the frequency, that is 100. This gives you the position on the cumulative frequency axis, which is here. Now draw a line from the 100 and cut this graph. And then go down to the x-axis. You can see the answer is 100. That is your median. Now next, we have to find the interquartile range. For the interquartile range, we need to find a few things. We need to find the upper quartile, which is 3/4 of the frequency, the lower quartile, which is 1/4 of the frequency, and then minus them together. For the upper quartile, to find the cumulative frequency position, 3/4 of our frequency, which is 200, will give us 150. 140 is there and 160 is there. 150 is in between them. From there, draw a line cutting out the graph. And then the same way, go down to the x-axis. You will find the answer is 420. That is our upper quartile. Now to find the position of lower quartile, we are going to take 1/4 of 200, which will give us 50. So at 50, we'll make a mark and from there, cut the graph. And same go down. Lower quartile is 350. So interquartile range is upper quartile minus the lower quartile. That will give you 70. Now we have to find the 60th percentile. To find the 60th percentile, we find 60% of the frequency. This will again give the position on the cumulative frequency. This will give us 120. Now from 120, which is here, we are going to cut the graph, and we can see that the answer is 410 on the x-axis. If you write the answer anywhere between 405 to 410, that will be accepted. The last one, the number of students who estimate that the volume is greater than 300 cubic centimeter. Now in this case, we have to look at the x-axis, more than 300 cubic centimeter. So 300 is here. From here, if we draw a line to the y-axis, you can see it is between 40 and 20, so that is 30. More than 30, like these many students estimated that it's more than 300. So how many students are these? From 200, you minus 30, that will give you 170. That is your answer. The number of students who estimate that the volume is greater than 300 cubic centimeter. Part B. The 200 students also estimate the total area, a square centimeter, of the windows in the classroom. The table shows their results. This is the area and this is the frequency. Calculate an estimate of the mean and you must show all your working. This is grouped data, and when you want to find the mean, we can draw a table. You can do it directly here, but making the table just to explain to you more clearly. Write all the data here. Now the midpoint. To find the midpoint, add the two values together and divide by 2. So 20 plus 60 divided by 2 will give us 40. Write that here. Same way for everything else. And write the frequency here, which is given here. So first will be 32, 64, 80, and 24. Then multiply the midpoint with the frequency. Write the answer here. And we know the total frequency is 200. That is already given to us. So when you add all of this, it will give you 200. So let's multiply and write the answer. And we added everything. This is the answer we got. To find mean, we write the total of the midpoint multiplied by the frequency, that is 21200, and divided by the total frequency, which is 200. And this will give you 106. This is an important question. Write down the formula and understand it. It's a 4-mark question. It's usually repeated. In this question, we have to complete the histogram to show the information in the table. This is our table here. We have the frequency density and the area in square meter. To find frequency density, we need to know that it is equal to frequency divided by class width. Frequency we already have. We have to find the class width. To find the class width, we look at each column, the big value minus the small value. So for this column, our class width will be 60 minus 20, which is 40. And we divide 32 by 40. That will give us 0.8. For the next column, 100 minus 60 is 40. So 64 divided by 40 is 1.6. 150 minus 100 will give us 50. 80 divided by 50 will give us 1.6. And 250 minus 150 is 100. So 24 divided by 100 will give us 2.4. So now we found our frequency density. We have to use that to find our bars. 0.8 is the first column from 20 till 60. On the horizontal axis, we have the first value given 0 and 50. So each grid will be 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. We have to draw from 20 till 60. 20 is here and 60 is here. On the vertical axis, the frequency density, we have to mark 0.8. There are 5 grid lines here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 divided by 5 is 0.2. Each grid line is 0.2. 0.2, so 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. Mark it here and draw this. We are done with the first bar. The second bar is 1.6. Same way we will count. 1, this will be 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. And it's from 60 till 100. We are done with the second bar. Just shade it. And the last bar is also 1.6. We have already marked. We drew the bar and we shade this one. So this is how you draw a histogram. Let's mark here 1.6. Two students are chosen at random from those students that estimated the area of the windows to be more than 100 square meters. So more than 100 is this part we are looking at, and find the probability that one of the students estimates the area to be greater than 150. One is greater than 150 and the other student estimates the area to be 150 square or less. First, let's see the total number of students we are talking about. We have to look only at these two columns, 80 plus 24, 104. That's our frequency. Let's name the blocks. If it is between 100 and 150 included, let's name the student X. And if it is between 150 to 250 included, let's name it Y. In the question here, they are not saying which is first. First, the student that they pick up may be between 100 and 150, or maybe between 150 to 250. So the first student could be X out of the total students, which is 104, or it could be Y out of the total students. We have already picked up one student, which is 104. So now the total number of students remaining are 103. It could be this, or it could be that the first student is Y and the second student is X. Now what is X? X is 80. We are talking about the frequency here. So it could be 80 over 104 multiplied by 24 over 103. Or the other way around, 80 over 103. This will give us 480 over 1339. You can put the whole thing together in the calculator. Remember to put proper signs, multiplication and addition. So what to remember from here? If the order is not given, you will have to take both the orders. You will have to take XY or it could be YX. And if you are removing one, the total frequency will become one less. Okay. For question number 3 onwards, please watch part 3. I hope I have been able to help you. If yes, please like the video, share it with your friends, and leave a feedback on how I can help you more. Thank you for watching.